Hey, hey, what is going on? What is going on? We are back to back. The triple threat in this piece. What is going on? I'm your boy Warren G. Been Clown Sucker Free. You already know what it is. This is another day, another 10 cents for black folk, and $150 for white folk. An hour. What's going on? What's going on? A lot of shit going on. So shout out to everybody that's out there protesting. Shout out to all the motherfuckers out there handling business and doing what the fuck that they need to do to survive. Shout out to everybody that's trying to make it a peaceful protest and protest about a specific reason and agenda. And that is for the liberation and equality for Native black people. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the niggas out there and the bitches out there that's trying to hustle and use this as an opportunity to do what the fuck they need to do to make a little bread. So shout out to them. Shout out to all you motherfucking racist people that act like race don't exist type shit. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the motherfuckers that's out there that's not bullshitting, that's making sure they can do what they gotta do. Oh yeah. Shout out to all you motherfuckers that know that they need to handle business a certain way, but they can't do it that way, so they do it another way. So shout out to everybody that's out there doing it. I just want to start this podcast off with a prayer. So yeah, this is like church. This ain't the church I think it is. I'm gonna start off like this. We gotta hit it up with this. The God who created the earth, who created the sun that gives us light, the God who holds up the ocean, who makes the thunder roar, our God who has our ears to hear, you who are hidden in the clouds, who watch us from where you are. You see all that the white man has made us suffer. The white man's God asks him to commit crimes, but the God within us wants us to do good. Our God, who is so good, so just, he orders us to revenge our wrongs. It's he who will direct our arms and bring us to the victory. It's he who will assist us. We all should throw away the image of the white man's God who is so pitiless. Listen to the voice for liberty that speaks in all our hearts. Dirty Bookman's prayer. You need to go read it. Facts. And that's how I'm starting off every time. We gotta call upon our ancestors, man. We gotta stop all this bullshit and praying to Cesare Borgia. When you're praying to Jesus Christ in a traditional church, you're praying to the people of this book, the Borgias. So stop praying to them motherfuckers, because they don't give a fuck about what the fuck you got going on, and you ain't got no power praying to their ass. That's why I like to open up the podcast with Dirty Bookman's prayer. That motherfucker said their white God wants them to commit crimes against us. That's cold. We gotta understand what it is, man. So shout out to everybody that knows about other religions, not just the traditional Jesus said it, and all this other shit. You gotta go to the source. And the shit that they got going on ain't it. So shout out to everybody that's out there handling business. Shout out to everybody that's out there finessing, do what the fuck they gotta do. Cut this shit down. Man, what's going on? I thought I'd just hit y'all up real quick, man, with a back-to-back. Hey, first of all, it's been some shit going on out here in Las Vegas, and I'm gonna put that shit out here right now. They had some shootings, and somebody killed a cop. Now, you know they about to try to put that and pin it on niggas. That's not it. Got the information right here, and we about to go ahead and get right into it. Right now. So as this shit play, okay, here we go.
Bloody protests that happened overnight. They left a police officer right now in grave condition, and this newly released mugshot shows the man that Metro officers say shot one of their own. He is 20-year-old Edgar Samaniego. Well, in a separate incident, police also shot and killed an armed man.
You see what his name was. Now, it ain't no native black. And I don't want to see nobody lose their lives like that, but you know what? I can't co-sign that, hey, that's neither here nor there, but they wanted that to be a nigga so bad that shot and killed that police officer. That's all they was talking about today. That's all they was talking about. And the reason why I'm pointing that out so motherfuckers can know, that was not no native black person who shot and killed a police officer. That wasn't us. So sorry. Just thought we'd put that out there.
Those two incidents mark the most violent points of these protests in 5 days of struggle over social justice and concerns over police brutality.
Social justice. You see the trigger of those words? No, over racism and white supremacy. Social justice is bullshit.
13 Action News reporter Sean Delancey is live at Metro Police headquarters where a press conference has wrapped up. Sean.
Yeah, Tricia, Todd, as police prepare for what could be another very dangerous night, they are asking for prayers for one of their own and explaining what happened in the tense moments leading up to a 25-year-old shot to death. A rare sight at Metro headquarters.
Ordinarily, we do not brief on officer-involved shootings until 72 hours later. However, we're not in ordinary times.
Assistant Sheriff Chris Jones revealing the name of the officer shot during overnight protests near Circus Circus. 29-year-old Shane McLanus, a 4-year veteran of the force, shot while a group of officers tried to wrangle aggressive protesters, now in critical condition at UMC. One suspect is in custody.
Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, and we ask that yours be as well.
Police also
Where are your thoughts and prayers for George Floyd, Tatiana Jefferson, Breonna Taylor, David McAtee, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, need I say more?
Describing the tense moments leading up to the fatal shooting of 25-year-old Jorge Gomez near the Federal Building minutes later. Police say Gomez had 3 handguns, one converted into a carbine. They say he ignored an order to disperse and instead advanced towards officers who fired less than lethal rounds from a shotgun.
This caused Mr. Gomez to turn northbound toward the other.
Y'all notice it's 2 non-native black people. Y'all notice that. Listen to what they say. It's not no native black people because they wanted to be niggas so bad. So they could just be like, fuck it, kill all these niggas. Any niggas sitting on the street, lock them up. But it's not. They wanted to be us so fucking bad. Trust and believe you me. Yeah, that's why y'all need to pay attention to this because that's what was circulating. Oh, man, some black people killed the police. It's so funny when it's the negative connotation, we get the fucking brunt of it. But anything peaceful, it's all white people. And really, it's been the white people looting and stealing and all kinds of bullshit and every other racial group piggybacking off our oppression and going out there and justifying killing police and doing all kinds of fuck shit. That's not what black people are about. But they want you to think that.
Officers who were trying to get to our downed officer.
Police say Gomez threatened those officers and raised a gun. They shot him, and he later died at the hospital. Police say violence.
See, and I think that's an agent provocateur. I'm sorry, I think that's an agent provocateur. I think these are agents of the system who's trying to perpetuate and push this race war forward so now it could be the police against black people. Oh, because black people killing us when really it ain't us killing y'all. Y'all killing us. And these other motherfuckers are killing y'all. Those are agent provocateurs in my own opinion. That's just my opinion.
Escalated each night with property damage, fireworks, and people pouring gasoline on police cruisers.
What we're seeing is not indicative of the community I've policed over the last 27 years, nor is it.
Well, Chief Jim Seabach or whatever the fuck you are, you look like a suspected white supremacist your damn self who probably quick to pull over a nigga, write his ass up, give him a ticket, do all kinds of shit to him. So I'm not buying nothing you selling. And you and it's so funny in all the West Side, North Las Vegas, all the predominantly black neighborhoods, you don't see nothing but white people. You don't see nothing but white police officers. And then they treat niggas like shit. So with that being said, no, I'm not buying it. Sorry.
Look like the community that we all know and love.
Police say most people are peaceful and even following their orders to disperse late at night. They say that the people who are left behind are the ones who turn violent, so they are pleading with people.
Well, why don't you tell us which ones are turning violent? You notice, I'm just going to tell you the trickery. If it would be niggas that was turning violent, y'all don't think they'd have put that shit out there? But it ain't no niggas that's out there acting a fool like that. So that's why they kind of not singling it out and grouping it all together. Y'all got to watch these trickery and these words how these news media outlets play.
To follow their orders when they ask to go home. Sean Delancey, 13 Action News.
But I'll tell you, that's how it go. I'm telling you, that's how it go. It ain't gonna stop. It's gonna keep going. And don't think that it's gonna change. Hey, what's happening 0666? I had to let y'all know what's going on here in Vegas because y'all let me know what's going on in y'all town. So I gotta let y'all know. Yeah, a police officer got shot and one got killed and niggas did not do it. I think it was agent provocateurs. It was if you watch the Malcolm X movie, get your hand out my pocket, nigga, to distract the nigga so another nigga can run up on him and shoot him with a goddamn sawed-off shotgun type shit. And then they kept him hidden from the community for 20, 30 years. And then the nigga finally did a documentary on Netflix about Worley, who killed Malcolm. They try to paint this picture about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad killed Malcolm X. Man, please, what would it gain for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to kill him? 1, 2, people don't know that he was trying to get back into the nation all those years after because he realized that, ooh, shit, I don't got no family, I got no protection. I'm really on my own out here. You know what I'm saying? But people don't know that because they just want to paint this bad, negative picture of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that he's just a bad person. And no, you can never get me to say that he's a bad person. You know why? Because every white person house you go into, they got a picture of John F. Kennedy on their wall. He's fucking all kinds of bitches and shit. And he's a racist motherfucker too. But they got them on their wall, and that's their hero. So why the fuck we can't have people that really, really need to look up to, like Dirty Bookman, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Mackendall, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Khalid Muhammad. Those are the people, in my personal opinion, you got to look at. Clarence X, 13. You know, the dude from the Nations of God Earth. Those are the people we need to look at. We need to stop looking at these people, these so-called black celebs that don't give a fuck about no niggas. And you like, what you mean, man, they don't give a fuck about no niggas like that. You saw what Killer Mike and T.I. did when they put the camera in their face. One nigga talking about this Wakanda, another nigga talking about his cousins, the police officer, all this other shit. You crying and shit. Like, oh my God. What is wrong with us, man? And these are the people that we looking at. So we gotta erase that shit. We need to start from scratch. Stop expecting Jay-Z and Beyonce and all these people that are beholden to the dominant society, because you're not a billionaire because you are rude, crude, and you don't take no bullshit. You're a billionaire because you are allowed to, one. Two, you're a billionaire because you are safe. Let me tell you, you are definitely safe. Because if you weren't safe, you wouldn't be no billionaire. That's a fact. So all the things you're doing, you're allowed to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at these people, I'm like, oh my God, T.I., you talking about this Wakanda and don't mess it up. And you got Lakeisha Bottoms up there trying to chastise niggas. And I'm looking at her and you try to scare niggas to vote. Bitch, vote for what? Y'all know what the fuck voting is. These politicians and people that are on the inside, they know exactly what the fuck is going on. They just not going to tell you because you're deaf, dumb, and blind. You're a commoner. So they're going to rock you to sleep and sing you a lullaby and then do a scare tactic to get you into voting because that's their job as the Sambo, the mammy, the coon. That's how the Sambies, the mammies, the Sambos, the coons, the Steven from Django's, that's how they're able to keep their nigga trinkets and keep the shit that the dominant society gave them by getting everybody else to go along with the bullshit. It's a pyramid scheme. You think that Lakeisha Bottoms and all these other motherfuckers be talking about, hey man, don't burn shit down. If they didn't have shit, if that wasn't in it for them, they'd be like, burn this motherfucker down. Fuck all these motherfuckers. They wouldn't be sitting up here trying to give you no pep talk about violence. And why Lakeisha Bottoms, all these other niggas ain't calling out these white looters and these white agent provocateurs that's out here talking about Black Lives Matter, defacing property, stealing shit from the van store, stealing shit, period, like the bitch was walking out with a goddamn cheesecake. Why ain't nobody calling these motherfuckers out? But they quick to call out the niggas talking about, y'all better stop the violence. But you don't want to call out the other racial groups. That's the shit that I be looking at. Stop it. Stop it. And that motherfucker, the motherfucker that owned that bar that went down there to start some shit, of course they're not going to charge him. They're not going to charge him because all he's going to say is he's pleading for his life. Now, take that same energy everybody has and go get that motherfucker. And go take a picture of his house and put it all shit online and let everybody see where the fuck he stay at. And put his ass on blast. And make it where he ain't got no privacy. Make it where his family ain't got no privacy. Then motherfuckers gonna think twice about killing motherfuckers when motherfuckers start snap, follow his Instagram, this where he live at, y'all, and camp outside his house. Be like, so we still killing niggas? That's what we doing? Oh, you going down there to start some shit? We'll start it now. See, don't let them take this shit and alligator roll it. Look, man, the reason why, and I got love for Killer Mike, and I'm a fan of Killer Mike, but if anybody gonna be crying, it shouldn't be Killer Mike. And I'm gonna play the heartbreaking, heart-wrenching press conference that George Floyd's, the mother of his child, she spoke. And I'm gonna play that. Now, this is what you need to be sad over. I know goddamn motherfucker talking about my police. Come on, man. We gotta stop making it about us. Now, listen to this sister.
I don't have, because I can't get my words together right now, but I wanted everybody to know that this is what those officers took from.
Now, she should be the only one crying. You don't see Steven Jackson up there fucking crying and shit. Do y'all see that nigga up there? That's how, see, y'all want to see what a man really looks like? A strong man? Steven Jackson. Shout out to Steven Jackson, man. Shout out to him. The sisters are supposed to be you know, they should be able to show their emotion because that's supposed to invoke the anger in black men to be like, man, we can't have our sisters out here crying like that. Fuck that. Nigga, but niggas on here crying and talking about, you know, come on, man. It ain't about y'all.
At the end of the day, they get to go home and be with their families. Shiana does not have a father.
And you heard what she said. At the end of the day, they get a chance to go home and be with their families. Just like those people that's out there protesting with y'all. They're going to go back to their families, their generational wealth, and their nice suburban areas, and your ass going to go back to where the fuck you was living and struggling. And they are not going to invite you to where they live. They're not going to take no motherfucking, none of their financial stability away from them to give to you. That's one. Two, you get Nathan of generational wealth from them. That's three. And any of the resources other than the money, they're not giving it to you. So they can stand there and march all you want. See, that's why I don't get impressed by other races, other racial groups marching with us. We don't need you marching with us. What we need you to do is get in there and make the change from the inside. So if you're a Caucasian person and you're around other Caucasians that are saying racist things about black people and making fun of black people and discriminating against them on the jobs, it's your job and your duty, if you really care about black people, to be like, that ain't cool and don't do that shit around me. That's our job. Not to be sitting up here pretending, marching, and patting yourself on the back because you needed something to make you feel good that day. So I went down there and marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. That's what motherfuckers are doing.
He will never see her grow up, graduate. He will never walk her down the aisle. If it's a problem she's having and she needs her dad, she does not have that anymore.
So if there's a problem that she needs answers, she can't go to her dad because her dad, but you know what she's going to grow up having to see? A white race soldier, AKA a white supremacist, a white supremacist representative with his knee in her dad's back, in his neck, for 9 minutes. That's going to be on social media forever. That's never going away. And now that child has to grow up like that. While motherfuckers sitting up here trying to make this situation about them, this sister is the only person that should be crying. Not Killer Mike, not T.I., not Obama, not Michelle, not none of these motherfuckers. Stop the goddamn crying and the emotion. She's the only one that should be doing it. That sister's the only one that should be crying. Like, again, go watch the press conference. You don't see Steven Jackson up there crying. You don't see Steven Jackson up there boo-hooing and sad. That's a fact.
I'm here for my baby. And I'm here for George because I want justice for him. I want justice for him because he was good. No matter what anybody thinks, he was good. And this is the proof.
Thank you. I'm glad that sister said that. She kept the narrative on George Floyd. This is what all this is about. George Floyd, James Scurlock, David McAtee. This is what this is about. This is not about the looters, not about people protesting. You notice they took the attention off of George Floyd. Now they back to the coronavirus. Now they back to Joe Biden making a speech, or Trump. Now they back to curfew. They talking about everything but George Floyd. And that sister did a great job, a very good job saying, I'm here for my daughter and for George, and he's going to get justice. That's what she said. I'm here for my daughter, I'm here for George, and he's going to get justice. Because that's what it's about. No, it's not I couldn't get up this morning, and my daddy was a police officer, and I feel like once they put the camera on a nigga, and nigga just going to this whole step and fetch it act. I don't understand that.
He was a good man.
What a heartbreaking moment. Yeah, that was a heartbreaking moment. What the fuck you think it wasn't gonna be heartbreaking? That's why I played it, so people can know. She's the only one that should be crying, not nobody else. Let me read the chat, my bad, I see you. And after, Antifa. Who was Antifa? Tell me who they are. Antifa in the cut. All this could have been avoided by charging those cops accordingly. Facts. I agree. But yes, did you see Steven Jackson has Freemason ties? Probably so. I'm glad he does. I hope he keeps those Freemason ties. Somebody need to have them. Besides, matter of fact, look, let me tell you something. Freemasonry is our shit first. White people just took it, co-opted, and then put us on the outside and made it where they're the so-called enlightened ones. White people can't be the enlightened ones. How could they be the enlightened ones when they didn't build the pyramids? The only thing that can't be replicated in the United States of America that's been around for thousands of years. So guess what? In Freemasonry, that's where bricklaying comes from. Masonry. So guess what? We're the enlightened ones, and they know it. They just want us to be separated from our knowledge. That's why last night I was talking about voodoo and talking about my first introduction to it and introduction to it was Child's Play and how it was looked at as evil but go watch Child's Play again. Charles Lee Ray was a bad guy. He was not a nice guy. And he hooked up with a voodoo priestess that knew voodoo. And he used the formula so he could basically live forever, to keep killing people and do what he wanted to do. He used it for evil. But people they forgot about that part. They was just so tripping off of how he did the little prayer and then transferred his body into the fucking doll. And then, you tripping off on a doll talking crazy and acting crazy, when in actuality, it was a white man who took our religion and used it for evil. And nobody got that. Nobody. Well, I know my people got it, but most Caucasians, nobody got it. Everybody assumes that, it wasn't that way and, it was just a movie. Hollywood gonna tell you half truths. Half real, half lies. That's why I read Dirty Bookman's Prayer, and I'll probably be reading it for a while. Every podcast, I'll be reading Dirty Bookman's Prayer. You know why? Because that's what we need to start socially engineering our children. No, read this prayer. No diss to the church shit, but you need to read this. You really need to read this. Why am I reading this? Because they were able to defeat the Frenchmen because of calling on their ancestors, using voodoo, Santeria, Orisha, calling on the saints, the elders, because that's all it is. It ain't praying to Cesare Borgia. Come on, man. Heart of Damballa used to put his soul in Chuck's body. Yes, that voodoo shit is real. Exactly. And that's why if you notice, they're not trying to make Child's Play over again. Y'all notice that? They're not trying to remake that. They just keep making horrible versions of it. But the original one is probably the best one. And you notice after the first Child's Play, they never showed you voodoo again. He killed the black voodoo priestess, which that shouldn't have happened. Of course, white people wrote that. They never showed really that part the way they should have. They showed him trying to transfer his body again and call him, but they didn't show how it really should be done. But they got you thinking that voodoo is bad. Y'all hear me talk about it all the time. Y'all got you thinking that. Let me tell you something. We have to understand that they've been doing this. They killed Fred Hampton. They killed Emmett Till. Who, let me correct this. Emmett Till's, I think it was his godmother. I gotta read that book again. I know it explained it, but Fred Hampton's mom used to babysit and watch Emmett Till. So that's how Fred Hampton knew him. I thought it was some type of relation, but maybe I was wrong, because I haven't read that book in a long time. But they killed Emmett Till for allegedly whistling at a white woman. And then you have Amy Cooper threatening to call the cops on a black man. Then you have Fred Hampton, who the Black Panther movement was co-opted by COINTELPRO and the Chicago Police Department, and they assassinated him. That's what they've been doing. So with that being said, we got to be on our P's and Q's. That's why Dirty Bookman, Mackendall, and them was like, no, we need to kill the coons first because they going to be the main ones telling. Just like Hayward Shepherd told when John Brown was coming. Just like I talked about last night. I don't need y'all marching with us and protesting. I need you Caucasian white folk to go into those corporate American systems and beat it down from the inside. Whistleblow. Start telling on these white racist motherfuckers at the jobs and putting their ass on blast. That's how you combat racism. Not just no justice, no peace, and then you can go home to your fancy little life and niggas is back to carrying the fucking burden of everybody like we normally do. That's why we carry everybody's water but our own. It's time out for that shit. Retribution and absolution. Come on, man. Wake the fuck up and see what's going on. Go to multiple news media outlets and see what they talking about. Go on Twitter, go on Facebook, go on Instagram. See what they talking about. Okay, then let me just try to fact check. Because everybody's not lying, but everybody's not telling the truth. And a lot of these people that they're shoving these mics and cameras in their face, you can have you could be just like Michael Eric Dyson. Michael Eric Dyson used a big fancy word every other goddamn sentence. But when it was time to talk about Gayle King, he started straddling the fence and buck dancing. Exactly. No, he wasn't killed by no brother. I'm telling you, I think it was an agent provocateur. I'm telling you, man, I'm almost positive. And they want to push that narrative so bad, but they couldn't because too many people saw that agent shoot and kill him, so they had to put it out there. If nobody would have saw him, they would have put it out there that it was a black man. I'm telling you. These agent provocateurs are real. That's why, and Antifa, what is Antifa? What is that? You hit me up to what is Antifa? Was that like some anti-government movement? Because they sure did. I've never seen that many white people attach themselves to a Black Lives Matter movement or just a black agenda period. The question I have for Antifa and all you other white people is, will you be protesting if they were to give us $100 trillion in reparations? And it was to take money and generational wealth from y'all, would y'all be protesting then? Because I highly doubt y'all be protesting. Y'all niggas will be behind closed doors. I don't think they deserve no $100 trillion. I have to work for mine. I'm broke just like everybody else. They wouldn't be voting for that shit. And they wouldn't give a fuck. And if you notice, nobody's talking about reparations. Bob Johnson talked about it though. But ain't nobody talking about no reparations for no black. Bring up reparations around your white friends and see how they'll be like, oh, well, I don't understand, you know. The first thing they'll start doing is white fragility and making you feel like you should feel bad for wanting reparations. But your people built the country. As the government has agent provocateurs everywhere, leaving bricks for people to throw them in businesses. Handing out Molotov cocktails to throw them into businesses. Oh, you bust that window. Exciting shit. Being the welder behind the fire, being the goddamn gaslighter. And no justice, no peace, and fuck the police and all this other shit. Like that Latino brother did downtown. He had a Latino flag, a Mexican flag, and was tagging on a business. I think it was the old Ensor Coin, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, a white lady was like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, fuck you, bitch. Black Lives Matter. And he started laughing. I'm like, see, that's where our brothers need to say, hey, man, what is you doing? That's not what we here. We're not here to do that, bro. This is a real movement. And every other racial group has taken it, co-opted, and turned it into some other shit. And that brings danger upon my people and me, not y'all. Because they're not racially profiling y'all like they doing us. Just like y'all need to watch that thing with Charlamagne the God. Let me see if I can find it. See if I can find the shit. Charlamagne the God and Rush Limbaugh. And he oh my God, he was just making so many damn excuses. Let me see. Let's play you. Let's play you a little bit. If they let us play it, let's see.
What's my safe flight
See?
story? I spent a lot of time in my truck.
All these goddamn commercials. But yeah, y'all need to go listen to that interview, you know, with Charlamagne the God and the Breakfast Club and DJ Envy and Angela Yee, and listen to Rush Limbaugh. Because Rush Limbaugh was, see, people don't even know that. He was denying white privilege. He said ain't no such thing as no white privilege. And I'm going to play this every year because that's how most white people feel. Most white people feel like that's a lie. White privilege doesn't exist. That's fake. That's something that somebody else made up.
How are you going to use your privilege as a white male? Guys, how are you going to use your privilege as a white male to combat this prejudice? You got a direct line.
I don't buy
Trump.
into. No, wait a minute. I don't buy into the notion of white privilege.
See? I don't buy the notion that there's white privilege.
See, I think that's a liberal. That's a liberal political construct, right?
See, you notice how he said that's the liberal political concept. So Jim Crow was a liberal political concept. Redlining, was that a liberal political concept? Gentrification, so that was all liberal. That wasn't white privilege. Okay, what about lynching? Okay, segregation. Okay, let's see, benign neglect. So those were all liberal policies? Y'all had nothing to do with none of that? That didn't have nothing to do with white people? And that's why I said, you know what? These are the reasons why, in my personal opinion, I thought I'd play you a clip of that. But these are the reasons why things happen the way they happen. Here, let's see.
Aspect of it as they put it forth. Aspect of party, and I'm not pretty supremacy.
Okay.
So white supremacy or white privilege is a construct of today's Democrat Party, and I'm not going to agree with any aspect of it as they.
You see that? You see that? What have I told y'all about that book, White Fragility? Because that's what they do. Deflect, deny, alligator roll. How many times I tell you about the alligator roll? Roller coaster, take you all on a fucking fantastic voyage. So you're not even sticking to the point. You like, oh, well, damn, I never looked at it that way. But I'll give Charlamagne and them, they would not let up.
Forth. I'm not denying that there are certain individuals out there who think they're better than other people, but structurally.
You see, he said individuals. He didn't say white people. He said individuals.
Institutionally, white supremacy, it's a construct.
You can't see how white people are just treated better in this country.
Even just as far as how many people get pulled over by the police officers.
And see, I liked what Charlamagne the God did. He laughed. He didn't get emotional. He just laughed. And that's how you got to do. You got to laugh. That's how I be laughing. When they call me names on Twitter, I be laughing like, why you calling me names? Because I'm probably right. Even when you're at the court plantation, they try to get you in the jam or try to do something to make you get emotional, just laugh at them.
We have these conversations, but we got to be honest with each other. Like, you got to admit that.
Disproportionately, black people are getting pulled over. Disproportionately, they're getting shot by the cops.
You set these things up. You have no idea how. I can imagine what you're going to say. If I sit here and say you have no idea how I have been mistreated by very.
Oh, here goes the whites playing, a.k.a. white fragility. So now it's about how he's treated as a white man and how he's been done wrong. That's what he's saying. Fuck all the niggas, but how he's been done wrong.
Various elements, various groups, various companies, various individuals, my whole life. It's called life, and it happens. And we're all mistreated. I've been fired 9.
You see that? We're all mistreated. You see the trickery and how they see. It's almost like people of color, minorities. That's trickery. They'll group you with everyone else. Well, I've been mistreated just like you. No, sir. No, that's not it. You have not been mistreated like I have and like my people have been. Stop lying. Now you're lying to your audience. And you're lying to me, to my face. And I find it very disrespectful and disheartening that you know that black people are disenfranchised, disaggregated because of the systems that are being placed in front of us by your great-great-grandfathers and grandmothers, which were slave owners, which were white supremacists. This is where this come from. Why does everybody think the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution was written by good, fair, equal men? No, it wasn't.
Times in my career.
But have you ever got thrown out your car because you were driving a nice car?
Have
you ever got just patted down just for being black?
In fact, Dr. King's death did not cause this kind of strife in this.
Oh, here we go. You see how they always bring up Dr. King. They always bring him up. But if y'all loved him so much, then why did y'all kill him?
Martin Luther King Jr. is dead because of racism and white supremacy.
Facts. Charlemagne was on his ass. I'll give him that. He been on their ass like a motherfucker. Like, now you can tell he's like, all right. You could tell the frustration between all of them. Angela Yee, DJ Envy, you could tell they were all frustrated. Like, bro, what are you saying? Like, you just on here babbling. And then you're not admitting to anything. You making it. Then he tried to, if you watch the whole interview, then he tried to make it seem like they were, well, you guys are successful. That's that, well, we have Obama. That's how black people should be like him. That's because he's safe to you. So that's why you want me to be like him.
Well, okay. If that's your answer to everything, then I don't know where we're going.
You see? If that's because that can't be the answer to everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Shawnee was having I see you 0666. That's how they all think. Don't ever get it twisted. I don't care how nice they are. I don't care how many pies they try to bake and give you nigga pies. That's how the majority of them think. I would say 99.9% of them think that way. Especially the older ones, they feel like black people just want a scapegoat. That we need to pull ourselves by our bootstraps and be like Obama.
Oh, it is. He's dead because he was fighting against racism and white supremacy.
All right.
That's why he's dead.
Well, good luck, guys.
You see? Well, good luck, guys. Because let me tell you something. That should have told y'all right then and there, this motherfucker don't give a fuck about no niggas. And your talking points are from the KKK, and basically you just deflected. You just like a regular politician, like Joe Biden. Well, so you trying to say the 94 crime bill didn't put? No, it wasn't the crime bill. It was the drug legislation that was in the bill, but it was in the bill. Well, I oppose that. Okay, but why did it go through? Why didn't you say, oh, let's dismantle the whole bill? We can't put those many people in prison because you didn't care. Now you out here making speeches and shit and thinking niggas gonna fuck with you. Like, I don't know why everybody should have jumped down Lakeisha Bottoms' neck when the bitch talking about, y'all want to make a change, y'all go vote. I would have been like, okay, well, the first thing we gonna do is vote your ass the fuck up out of being a man because you sound like a fucking mammy that's fucking telling everybody to go coon. And then I love T.I., I love Killer Mike, but that's what happens when we put our trust and faith in these black celebrities. Then they get on TV and we be all pissed off. That's why everybody's mad at Michael Jordan. He's like, well, Republicans buy shoes too. And yeah, you have a right to be mad, but why would you think watching that documentary on Jordan, that should let everybody know his parents did not raise him to be a social activist in the fight for equality. They raised him to make a good living, to take care of his family. So why would y'all expect him to be anything different? That's why I don't expect celebrities and rappers to be conscious individuals or people that's gonna fight for equality for black people. No. Then most of them gonna get in and close the door behind them. And that's just how it's gonna be. You just gotta understand that, and it's understand it, accept it, and move the fuck on. That's why I always be telling people, stop worrying about what the fuck niggas is buying, what they doing, when it doesn't come to the native black movement. All that other shit they buying clothes, who gives a fuck about all that? Look at what they're doing for their people. How they educating their people, how they educating the people around them. Stop worrying about the small shit. Oh, well, it ain't your money. So you can't tell a nigga how to spend his money. While you worried about his money, what you doing with your money? See, while we worried about Killer Mike and T.I., you know, as far as, oh, they the black, you know, because I remember when they was on not the Breakfast Club, but he was on Nori's podcast, the Drinkcast podcast, and Nori's like, man, you so smart, and man, you could be like a mayor and all, and I would love for T.I. or Killer Mike to be a mayor and all that. I would love that. But if you're not gonna do nothing for your people, then you would be better off just not doing nothing at all. Because what we saw from y'all, it just looked half-hearted, and it looked like y'all weren't prepared and it just looked like y'all wasn't educated enough to be like, you know what? Racism, white supremacy is real. I don't condone y'all tearing up shit, but it is real. And when you're dealing with racism, white supremacy, you're dealing with angry, upset people that have had enough. I don't condone y'all rioting and tearing up shit and blowing up shit, but I understand because I know what it is. You're upset. No. You don't get on TV talking about, oh, well, and I get it because a lot of us are so emotional. Let the women be emotional. Let that sister be emotional. Let Sister Roxy Washington be emotional because she's got it right. She just lost her child. I mean, she just lost the father of her child. So she should be emotional. But everybody else, no, you don't have a right to be emotional. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, just let us be mindful of that shit. And let us also understand this. It is not niggas out there killing people and fucking busting up shit. It is other racial groups that have co-opted our movement, took it over, and turned it evil. Just like Child's Play. For all y'all that haven't, just go back and watch it. Go on YouTube and watch it. Just go back and watch it. And then we'll have a discussion on Thursday. Because I'll be on Thursday. Maybe even tomorrow if it's hard on the yard. But I want y'all, don't watch the whole thing. Just watch the beginning when he does the voodoo, the voodoo. Watch it when he deals with the voodoo priestess. Watch how he treats him. Watch how he treats him. That's going to fuck you up. When you be like, damn, man, Warren was right. That's not even his shit. He had to go back to the real motherfucker, and he was treating him all fucked up. Just watch it. And watch how he took a religion that we created that was powerful, co-opted it, used it for his advantage, and made it evil. Just go watch it. Because that's what they doing to the goddamn protest. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, this is your boy Warren G, the place to be. You already know this shit. No, I don't know TV series, because no, I don't know. That's why I had to correct myself about Fred Hampton, because no, I don't know. That's why I be telling people, go read the book. You can correct me. But I'm definitely going to order that book y'all told me about last night. So shout out to Shawnee and shout out to 066, you know what I'm saying, for putting me on, you know, to that book, because I'm definitely going to order that book. And I am going to start saying Dirty Bookman's Prayer every podcast. But that's a fact. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. If you out there, if you're another racial group and you're out there on some Antifa shit, co-opting the shit on some agent provocateur shit, and you pretending like you care about black lives really mattering when really they don't to you, guilty, nigga. I'm out. I'll holler at y'all either tomorrow or Thursday. Maybe tomorrow. Peace.